Hello, heretics. Welcome to my channel. I'm Andron, and I'm a webtoon artist with too many diagnoses and even more hobbies. I write and draw the webtoon A Bunch of Letters, which you can find a link down below, and I make silly storytime videos about whatever I feel like. This is my first video today, and you might be wondering what I'm drawing. This, my friends, is my Transformers OC Cliff Snarl, my Decepticon scout with an unhealthy infatuation with Shockwave. What do they have to do with this story? Absolutely nothing. Let's get into it. Freshman year of high school was pretty rough. I had experienced a lot of trauma in the 2 years beforehand, and I was coping with some pretty big life changes. I was also so used to being mistreated by my peers that I lashed out at my classmates, convinced that any kindness that they gave me, and many of them were kind to me, that it was just a facade to hurt me later. Being antagonized by them almost daily reaffirmed this belief for me, even if it wasn't nearly as bad in high school as it was in elementary school. This sets the stage for my mindset when this story happened. As a young teen, I mostly wore sandals unless I was explicitly told to wear something different, and naturally, gym class required me to wear sneakers. And since sneakers required socks, I kept a pair of socks in my locker and re-wore them day after day and only washed them when I felt like it. It's really gross to look back on. I had horrible athlete's foot. The smell could get really bad and I did not care. Oh God's little me, why did you do that? I should probably have added a warning that this story is gross. But you probably knew that when you clicked on the title. Well, I really had no problems with it until one fateful Monday morning, I opened my locker and I found my 2 bundled up socks from the Friday before, still saturated with sweat. Wet, gross, smelly, and gross, and wet, and I'm really grossed out remembering it. Oh. I was grossed out back then too, but I didn't really have much of a choice. So I unbundled them, put them on, went to class, took them off, and stuck them in a secluded part of my bag where I was pretty sure the smell would not leach into my books, my art folder, my sketchbook, or my tarot cards that went with me everywhere. Ugh. Then second period rolls around, and I'm in English class with my best friend, who would later be my best friend far into adulthood. We'll call him Terry. Terry and I are in class, and we were supposed to be working on some assignment where we were allowed to help each other, and yeah, we were working, but mostly we were just joking and shooting the breeze and having a good time. And then he comes in. This frickin' guy. This dude, bro. We will call him Liam. All things considered, Liam is pretty much just a stereotypical teenage boy. He is utterly insufferable, not above picking on the neurodivergent kids if it'll somehow help him climb the social ladder that Terry and I sat at the bottom of, and generally a real nuisance. I don't exactly remember what Liam did. All I remember is he was antagonizing us, stealing our stuff, trying to get a rise out of us, and not listening no matter how many times we said, "Go away, Liam," at him. Liam also tried to snag my comics off of my desk when I wasn't looking, although I think maybe he did know I was looking and he was just trying to antagonize me further. Either way, I was annoyed, but I knew from experience the teacher was not going to do a thing about it, even if she saw it happen. Then, all of a sudden, it hits me. An idea. An awful idea. A stinky, disgusting, awful, wonderful, Amazing idea. So Liam returns to his friends once more, and I turn to Terry, and I tell him, if he comes back one more time, I'm throwing my gym sock at him. I was not a gutsy kid. I could scream, I could shout, but I really could not make witty comebacks, and I was too afraid to physically defend myself until much later. Mostly, I was telling Terry this to build myself up, and Terry said, Andron, do it. Anyway, and then Liam returns. This time, he is flanked by two girls, all three of them with absolute shit-eating grins on their stupid faces. Liam taunts to me, are you still reading your weird-ass comic books like a weirdo? You still watching cartoons like a weirdo? Or something like that. It's been a long time. I don't exactly remember what he said. I only remember that I said, Liam, go away, and I plunged my hand into my bag. Or what? He taunted. I grabbed hold of the stink bomb in my fist. Liam, go away. And the three-headed dragon stepped closer. Or what? And then I did it. I pulled Excalibur from the stone and held it in front of me in all its smelly, sweaty glory right in front of them. And the three of them recoiled, and Liam screamed, Ugh! What is that? And I responded, it's my nasty, smelly, disgusting gym sock. Terry laughs hysterically, and the three of them bolted back to their friend group. It was absolutely hysterical, and we both laughed about it. I couldn't believe it was that easy. And with that, I put the matrix of leadership that was lighting my most mildly infuriating hour back into my bag. The rest of the class goes by, and someone else who was irritated with Liam antics also said it was funny. Lunch period comes next, and Terry always brought a lunch, while I qualified for the free lunch program. So I handed my bag off to him to grab us a table, and I said, hey, if Liam comes back, the sock is in here, but you may want to wash your hands before you eat if you're brave enough to touch it. I go to get my lunch. I walk back. I walk towards our table, and Terry is laughing so hard, he can't breathe. He's almost silent from choking on his own laughter. And I knew right away I missed something absolutely golden. So when Terry was coherent enough to tell me what happened, it turns out that shortly after he grabbed our table and had the table all alone, just for the two of us, Liam returned. But this time, he wasn't flanked by just two friends. Oh no, he brought a whole posse with him. And they all sat at the table, surrounding Terry like a snake coiling around its prey. And Liam leans in and says, hey Terry, where's your little friend to protect you? Terry remembered my words, and he reaches into my bag. But his fingers barely pass the zipper. He doesn't even go anywhere near the Black Lotus before the Hydra knew what he was doing, and he screams, ew, he's got the nasty sock! And just like that, they all scattered, like cockroaches to a light, to Terry's entertainment. And then I walk over shortly after, just one moment too late before I could have watched the beast implode on itself. I'm still upset about it because I bet it was funny. I bet it was just as hilarious as Terry said. And nobody bullied us for the rest of the year. I kept the sock in my bag for the rest of that school year. It dried out and got crusty. It was really gross. And I didn't like carrying it around after a while, but I thought someone would be back. And I was ready. And I did not get to use it. And that's for the best. And there you have one of my favorite stories from high school to tell. And one of my few very good memories of high school. I hope you enjoyed this little gross story of mine. Enough that you leave a like on this video, dislike it if you didn't, and tell me if you think baby Andron was a disgusting little gremlin, because I certainly do. Anyway, follow along to fuel the fire. Thanks for watching!